Hello, fellow entrepreneurs. Marcia Steele here, and welcome back to video 4. We are really trucking along, and today we're going to cover my favorite subject, which is all about how to craft effective strategies and action plans. I do a lot of strategic planning events, and I have simplified this for you to 1, 2, 3. It's going to be rocking good. 1, 2, 3. Folks, I don't care if you're doing a strategic plan for your business or you're simply trying to help your little league team on a Friday win. Let's just talk about the basics, okay? Even if it's a game and you're trying to win, every game has got an offense, defense, and game plan. 1, 2, 3. That's all we're going to talk about. 1, 2, 3. So, 1, in business, your offense, the things you have to do in order to win, are called critical success factors, CSFs. Now, critical success factors, depending on where you are and what you're trying to achieve for that goal. These are strategies to accomplish a specific goal. Now, they're going to be guided by your measurements. Okay, are you trying to lose, you're trying to get to 5 executive decision makers, or you're trying to lose 5 pounds? Big difference than if you're trying to lose 50 pounds. What's critical for you to do to lose 50 pounds is not the same to lose 5. So what are the critical success factors, the things you absolutely have to do? Now let's take a look at how this would tie in with your goals. You remember in the previous video, we talked about potentially having a goal of having 4 high visibility clients in healthcare by a certain date. Now let's talk about what could be some of the critical success factors, things that you have to do. Well, if you want to have 4 high visibility clients, one thing to do, or maybe you have to do, is reconnect with your existing healthcare decision makers. Maybe leverage LinkedIn groups and connections. Get published and position yourself as an industry expert so you can get invited to speak at conferences and be able to get exposure to a greater number of decision makers. So what are the things that are critical for you to do in order to achieve your goal? That's step 1. That's your offense. But we also know that there are going to be things that want to hold you back from putting that smiley face, putting that big smile on your face. So what's holding you back? What could potentially hold you back? They're barriers. Those are the places where Murphy is going to show up. And you know it's not a matter of if, but when Murphy shows up. So your barriers are existing or potential obstacles, challenges, whatever. And you want to phrase your barriers with words that help you identify them as such, so that when you go to create your strategies, it's just absolutely clear what you need to do. You'd say a barrier is insufficient, whatever, poor, negative, lack. Let me give you an example. We already developed your offense with the critical success factors. The barriers could be lack of high visibility influencers that could connect you with those decision makers, or no perception of the value chain. You don't know what the goals are or the SWOT analysis within the clients that you're trying to work in. So if you don't know their value chain, you don't know where you fit in that value chain, so you could leverage your offerings. Insufficient focus on pain points to address because you don't have that inside knowledge. Those would be barriers keeping you back from getting to those high visibility clients in those accounts. Okay, now we've got the 1, 2. It's time for the 3. Bam, bam. Once you have CSFs and barriers, folks, what's holding you back from doing your strategies? Too many people are just caught up in the activities and they're not strategic about their next steps. Now, here's the thing. A lot of times I ask people when I'm working with them, when they show me their plans, I say, what about this makes it strategic? And many of them can't answer. And that's sad. That is sad. But thank goodness I came out of GE, and GE helps just about every manager answer that question. Folks, there are only 3 things that make something strategic. 1, it must meet a critical success factor. 2, it must overcome a barrier. 3, do both. If you can kill if you could kill 2 birds with 1 stone, why not? So if you can do a CSF and a barrier with 1 strategy, bam. Those are the things we're going to talk about right now. Anything you could do that gets you directly to a CSF, because that's critical to the goal. So if you can get directly to that, you're closer to the goal. Anything that allows you to overcome, get under, around a barrier, gets you closer to the goal. And if you could do one thing that does both, we call that low-hanging fruit. Just go for it, baby. Just go for it. You want to also make sure, just like you did before, how you word things are important. When you're doing strategies, you want to use words that are activities. Remember, strategy comes from the military. And your strategy was to take that hill, conquer that thing. It's all about the actions you're taking. So remember that you want to phrase your strategies as activities to be accomplished, not results to be achieved. So when you're phrasing your strategies, you want to phrase them with develop, establish, implement, revise, utilize, verbs such as that. For example, for our goal, we could say we want to develop a marketing plan to showcase the expertise with emphasis on sticky content and social sharing. 3, or another one was create 3 new white papers or niche solutions for on-site and conference presentations. Utilize strategic partnerships to understand the value chain. Each one of these things would meet either a critical success factor, a barrier, and thus allow us to get closer to our goals. And that's how you create strategies. But once you have the strategies, you got to do the action plans, folks. So you got to identify the specific steps to implement each and every one of your strategies. So you don't want to have more than 3 to 4 strategies for every goal, okay? When you start getting into 5 or 6 as an entrepreneur, whoa, a bit too much. For each strategy, you need, and the action under that strategy, you need to state what you're going to do, who's going to do it, and when. Is it something you're going to do? Is it a member of your team? Is it something you're going to outsource? Because you've got to not just plan it, you've got to monitor it and keep track where you are when you're 30, 60, 90 days. Again, be realistic, because many of these activities are going to be done all by you. Then determine not just that step, the next step after that, the next step. Determine, as I said, what you're going to allocate, what you're going to outsource, because we've got to watch the total number of hours per week, per month that you're allocating to business. You're the engine that pulls all the cabooses. We've got to have a sense of balance here. And then once you've done the plan, you've got to do the work, baby. The plan won't make it happen. You've got to do the work. If you've got any questions, feel free to email me at askmarcia@2ce.com. Go to the website, marciasteele.com, click on the microphone, leave me a message, or join the Second Career Entrepreneur Movement by clicking on the orange button, then click here now. We've covered a lot of territory. This is Marcia Steele saying, get ready to check out number 5, where we monitor and review. Ciao for now.